Hello, good evening. Nice to see you all this evening. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. The Daily Current Affairs is going to prepare you for both pre and the mains examination of UPSC 2024. Many students have also written to me that in various other government examination, the Daily Current Affairs has helped a lot. So do not worry about it. I am going to make sure that I tackle all the important current affairs with you. We will do it together from the perspective of the UPSC examination. Now, both pre and mains are a very harmonious combination of both facts and the concept clarity. UPSC prelims can make you think like, I have studied this topic, I may have revised it once or twice, but I don't know why this question is not clicking with me. This is the lack of skill. So we will develop skill. Prelims is all about skill development. So do not worry about notes as well. The basic point is to make you understand how to develop skills. The questions and the answers that I provide here are also provided on my Telegram channel. That is by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. You can subscribe to that channel. If you have any questions regarding this examination, you can talk to me on Instagram and follow me on Threads. Now, these are the various events that we have to cover today. We will first talk about this question because this was a practice question and many of you have answered it correctly. So I will take your names by the end of this class. The Antyodaya Diwas is observed in India on September 25th every year. It marks the birth anniversary of, these were the given options. The correct answer to this question is option D, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay was born on 25th September 1916. He was a co-founder of the Bharat Jan Sangh, Bharatiya Jan Sangh, and a thinker of the RSS. Now, the word Antyodaya means the rising of the last. He worked a lot to uplift the poor and the marginalized. That is why it was supposed to be marked as his birthday, a commemoration of his birthday. Okay, so D, option D is the correct answer. To commemorate the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji, he was a co-founder of the Bharatiya Jan Sangh and the thinker of the RSS, a thinker to uplift the poor and less fortunate. He worked a lot, which means Antyodaya means rising of the last. Now, this could be asked in your prelims examination as well. So, remember, rising of the last is Antyodaya. Okay, he was born in Mathura and he died in 1968 near the Mughal Sarai Junction railway station, and that is why in the year 2018, this railway station was named as Deen Dayal Upadhyay Junction. So, the current government in 2014 ensured that it is celebrated as a national holiday. In 2014, Ministry of Rural Development introduced Ajivika skills, and this was renamed as the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana only in the year 2015. So this is his legacy. Now, if you have to write any mains examination answer or any essay, this is a quote from Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, which says, "Human knowledge is common property." Now you have to write an essay over this. I went through the essay paper and it is always very unique in nature. That is why it is important for us to know about the important quotations as well. The prelims to interview batches that we launched on the 22nd of September is going to close from 30th onwards. So make sure you take admission. Alright, make sure you take admission before the date ends because we have a less time. We have a really few number of months to the UPSC prelims examination. And many coachings do one thing, they treat GS differently, CSAT, ethics, essays, everything is different. But for us, it is a holistic batch. Not only we will prepare you for the pre-examination mains and interview with respect to GS, but everything else, even language papers are included. So make sure you do get into this batch if you are wanting a holistic batch. So this batch will cost you around 70,000. But if you use the code PD Live, it will just be at 29,999 only. And we will have live classes from 6 p.m. onwards. Whatever classes you may have missed, that will be provided in the recorded version. Moving on, consider the following statements. The Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation was launched during India's visit to Fiji in the year 2014, November 2014. In 2006, the China-Pacific Island Countries Economic Development and Cooperation Forum was established, and the first ever US Pacific Island Country Summit was conducted in the year 2018. How many statements given above is or are correct? We have seen in the UPSC examination many a times comparative statements are put forward to ensure that the future bureaucrat is aware of the world happenings. not only from the Indian perspective, but also from the perspective of the world. Now, the Pacific Island countries consist of 14 countries, and they are becoming increasingly important from the perspective of geopolitics because it is a part of the Pacific Ocean. And we know how China is growing aggressive in the Indo-Pacific region. So we have to ensure we know our developments, the mechanisms that India has developed, the mechanisms other countries have also developed. All right. So first statement is definitely correct that the Forum for Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation was established in the year 2014 when the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Fiji. Now, I could have also distorted the statement like UPSC does. I could have written here Papua New Guinea and I could have changed the date. So UPSC can also do that. It can change certain parts of the statements and the rest of the part of the statements can be correct so that you can get confused. UPSC will confuse you for very sure. In 2006, the China Pacific Island countries economic development was already established. So they did it before us in 2006. And USA was a latecomer here. The first ever US Pacific Island country summit was actually conducted last year only, 2022. So you see that these are the various things that show how Pacific Island countries are becoming increasingly important. A mains question can be asked for you from the perspective of Pacific Island countries. So you can present these things. Why and how do you think the Pacific Islands are becoming important? You can write all these things actually in your paper. So do not worry, this is not only important for your pre but also for the mains examination. First is correct, second is correct, third is not correct. How many are correct? 2 only will be the correct answer. The USA has also said that it is going to recognize the Cook Islands and NEO as sovereign and independent states. Where are the Cook Islands? Here are the Cook Islands. Here to the east of Australia. See, and here is Papua New Guinea. Yes, it is the same country to which our Prime Minister went and the representative of Papua New Guinea touched his feet as a show of respect, as a mark of respect. And President Biden hosted the first ever US Pacific Island Country Summit in the year 2022. This week, he is doing the second one. And here are the new islands as well, which are recognized as sovereign by the USA in the days to come. President Joe Biden will host the second summit in this particular week. New money for infrastructure will be given. Improvement will be done when it comes to internet connectivity, and it will also honor regional leaders at an NFL game. NFL basically is a football game. NFL organizes the football game. Now, this shows that how Pacific Island countries are becoming important in the geopolitical scenario. China is never happy with any other country apart. If we talk about specifically Asia and the Pacific, Pacific has always been considered as a backyard of the USA. And now when China wants to have an influence over it, USA will have to do something. So of course, this is from that perspective only. The Forum for Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation was established in the year 2014 in Fiji. FIPIC includes 14 island countries. I have produced you with the map of it. There are many countries, 14 countries. So we have these many countries. You can match them with the map. Cook Islands, Fiji, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Micronesia. Nauru, Niue. Palua, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu. Fiji and Papua New Guinea actually have the biggest population and the most heft. That is why India has most of the time interacted with these many countries. These are certain challenges. We are not interacting with other countries because of their distance from India. Tourism cannot be, encouraged so much, surely because of the distance and because of the lack of proper infrastructure as well. It will cost a lot for Indian tourists. So these are the various areas where India can work. Climate change, improved infrastructure, tourism, people-to-people contact. Because in Fiji, 37% of the total population is of Indian origin and about 3,000 Indians live in the Papua New Guinea region. Moving on, in 2006, China Pacific Island Countries Economic Development and Cooperation Forum was launched, and it is the highest level dialogue mechanism on economy and trade between China and the Pacific Island countries. Has happened 3 times so far. So you see that here China is little lagging behind, and that is why USA wants to take advantage of this scenario. Moving on, with respect to Bennu, I'm talking about the Bennu asteroid. Consider the following statements. It was discovered in 2002. Its density is only about 30% more than water. And Bennu has a close approach to the Earth every 6 years. Bennu will likely hit the planet Venus. So how many statements given above is or are correct? Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up? If you see that movie is so telling. It's a parody movie and it's a really great movie. If you get a chance, it is available on Netflix. You can go and watch there. Basically, there are many asteroids that are touted to be as planet killers. Another asteroid if we talk about apart from Bennu, there is asteroid Apophis, which is the Greek god of chaos. It is named after the Egyptian Greek god of chaos. There are approximately 10 dates, it is said by NASA itself, on which Apophis can hit Earth. And this is known as a planet killer. Now, it was discovered, Bennu was actually discovered in 1999 and not 2002. Then, its density is only about 30% more than water. That is correct. That is why it looks like a rubble, a pile of rubble. Bennu has a close approach to Earth every 6 years. That is also correct. And Bennu will likely hit, the most likely planet to get hit by Bennu is planet Venus. Okay. So first is incorrect, second is correct, third is correct, fourth is correct, 3 are correct, 1 is not correct. How many are correct? 3 only will be the correct answer. After dropping off the sample from the Bennu, Osiris Rex went to Bennu in 2016, collected samples in 2020 and departed from there, and then it has dropped the parcel which carries samples from Bennu on 24th of September. So we will study it, we will understand the evolution of the universe, and that is why this question could be asked with respect to Bennu. So make sure you have enough knowledge about it. Alright, so after dropping off the sample, the spacecraft began a new mission. As Osiris Apex, it has gone to another mission, and Apophis Explorer it will be. Apex means Apophis Explorer, and it has headed to have an encounter with asteroid Apophis in 2029. So this is Apophis asteroid. Now NASA says that asteroid Apophis will not hit Earth in 2068. However, there are dates that have been produced by NASA. We are just going on the likeliness only. The 1213 feet long space rock isn't expected to have a chance of impacting Earth for over 100 years now. But earlier there were dates that were provided. I will show you the dates as well. Dates were provided of 2060, 65, 68. Then in the same year we had 2 dates, April 12th and October 15th. Count your age, see if you will remain alive or not. Then 2076, 2077, 78, these were the dates that were provided. And if it does hit Earth, if it does have an impact over the Earth, it's going to be huge, because if you have to understand it from the perspective of kinetic energy, asteroid would hit with 12 lakh kilotons of kinetic energy. If we talk about the bombing of Hiroshima in 1945, the atomic bomb, it hit with 15 kilotons of TNT. Just imagine 12 lakh. It will create a 3.2 mile crater, kill millions of people if it does so. Alright, and it is being tracked by NASA's automated sentry warning system. So remember, what is the sentry warning system? It predicts the object's next flyby, which will occur in April 2060. So April 2060 is the upcoming year and the month when we will have a flyby of this particular asteroid. Now, this asteroid Apophis was discovered only in the year 2004. Moving on, let's talk about Bennu. Now, Bennu was founded in 1999. It was found in 1999, beg your pardon, by the Lincoln Near Earth Asteroid Research or Linear Survey. It was actually named by a 9-year-old. Bennu's original designation was 1999 RQ36, but a third-class person named it. A third-grade student by the name of Michael Puzzio, and that was in 2013 when he won a contest of naming the asteroid. Now, it's very far away from home, I mean from the Earth. Bennu has drifted into the near-Earth space because of the gravitational interaction that it is doing with other planets. Also, it has low density, is only about 30% more than water. This suggests that the asteroid is probably a loose collection of rubble. And Bennu has a close approach to the Earth every 6 years. It comes really close to the Earth. Also, it is potentially hazardous. There is a 1 in 2700 chance of impacting Earth by it. Okay, and that will be in the 22nd century. Then it will burn up or bolt. It can burn up when it comes near to the sun. It can do so. And also it is moonless. Many asteroids have moons, but it doesn't have any moon. UPSC can also ask this. Alright. Also, NASA's Osiris Rex mission studied Bennu in an unprecedented mission it was. In 2020, it collected a sample and dropped a parcel on 24th, 2023 in the Utah Desert. I have already asked a question with respect to that. Alright, now it will be studied. With respect to Vande Bharat trains, choose the incorrect statement. It is India's first indigenous semi-high-speed train. Under it, the Vande Bharat 2.0, which is a revamped version of the Vande Bharat, the first train was flagged off in 2022 from Gandhinagar to Mumbai. The latest union budget mandates 300 trains over the next 4 years. The Vande Bharat 2.0 train has the Kavach system for enhanced safety in operation. So what do we have to see? The incorrect statement. Yes, in 2019, specifically 15 Feb 2019, we had our first Vande Bharat, comprising of many cities such as Delhi, Varanasi, Kanpur, Allahabad, then Allahabad, now Prayagraj. So, first 2019, a revamped version, the better version of it, the lighter version of it, and a more speedy version of it was launched. In 2022, that was the Vande Bharat 2.0 from Gandhinagar to Mumbai. This is definitely correct, and this is a semi-high speed train and indigenous also. UPSC can also confuse you by writing it is India's first indigenous high-speed train. It is a semi-high speed train. Remember, because these are the areas where UPSC knows that student, it's like, yes, I have studied this much. Yes, I know this answer very well. Or I don't need to revise it. I don't need to pinpoint it. You need to be reading from an eagle's viewpoint. Then only you can qualify this examination. First is read very carefully. Second is revise. Most of the times revision is the key. So if you are not revising anything, there are very less chances that you will crack this examination when it comes to prelims and mains as well. Interviews can be done like that, but if you talk about prelims and mains, basically you have to ensure you know each and everything. Alright, because when you go in the interviews, they know you have studied a lot. That's more whimsical in nature. Okay, so first is correct, second is correct. The latest union budget has said that we will have over 400 trains in the next 3 years. So I have interchanged these two data. So this could also be done. Confusion. So third will be not correct. And the Vande Bharat 2.0 have the anti-collision system by the name of Kavach. Kavach has been in the news because of the Odisha train accident. That is why expect one question from Kavach as well. First is correct, second is correct, third is not correct, fourth is correct. Okay, so C will be the correct answer. Prime Minister has recently flagged off 9 Vande Bharat trains, and right now we have 34 Vande Bharat trains that are operational in nature. In 11 states, these trains have been flagged off: Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Bihar, West Bengal, Kerala, Odisha, Jharkhand and Gujarat. I have told you about this. Union budget has said we are going to have over 400 Vande Bharat trains in the next 3 years. Vande Bharat 2.0 was flagged off in 2022 from Gandhinagar to Mumbai. The Vande Bharat 2.0 will be equipped with a range of advanced features as compared to the predecessor, because earlier the speed could be maximum 160 km per hour, but now it will be 180 km per hour, and it is also lighter. Earlier it was 430 ton, the weight of the train. It is now 392 ton. Moving on, as you can see, this is the Kavach system. When two trains may come close to each other, so much so that they are going to collide, what happens that through radio communication, these two trains that have been coming together, close together, they will get a signal to stop by the Kavach anti-collision system, and it will be automatic in nature. Moving on, with respect to India-South Korea relations, consider the following statements. The bilateral trade between India and Korea was $237 billion in 2021, which is the highest ever bilateral trade figure till now between the two nations. India and South Korea established diplomatic relations in the year 1966. So how many statements, which of the statements given above is or are correct? This is as per recent data. that I have gathered from the Indian government's website. Okay, so yes, first statement is definitely correct. And India and South Korea, they are celebrating the 50th year of establishment of diplomatic relations. That means in 1973 we established diplomatic relations. So this will be incorrect. First is correct, second is not correct. One only will be the correct answer. The Indian Embassy in Seoul, it has organized a function in order to show the solidarity and the friendliness that India and South Korea have with each other. A book was also released, that is Gaya Buddhism Unlatching the Gate, because between India and many Southeast Asian countries, even Korean countries, we have this commonality of shared culture, that is the Buddhism and religion. The two countries established diplomatic relations in 1973, and the bilateral trade between India and Korea grew by 40% in 2021. Also in 2020, the bilateral trade value between the two countries was this much. Moving on, India is Korea's 16th biggest source of import and 7th biggest export market in 2021. The introduction of President of South Korea, Moon Jae-in's new Southern policy in 2017, it prioritized India's relationship with South Korea. Consider the following statement. Statement 1 says, for biometric identification, the fingerprint or iris, retina or face is not stored as and measured as a highly detailed picture. That means whatever storage is going to be will not be in the form of highly detailed picture, that each and every line of your thumb or your iris or anything that is very different from others will be protected in the form of detailed picture. The concerns over Aadhaar's reliability are significant given that it is the primary identity documents that is linked to a number of government welfare schemes. So choose the correct answer using the following codes. Now, if I talk about this, biometric has been criticized on various grounds. First of all, whatever finger or thumb print that we do in the biometric device, it doesn't store it in the form of a detailed picture. It stores it in the form of, if the lines of your thumb, this is a thumb supposedly, sorry, I'm not very good at art. This is just for depiction purposes. If somebody's lines are going like this, and in here, it may be a little twisted, then a little difference in the points, like rivers or valleys that we see in the geographical maps, it is stored like this, and point to point connection is made. So it is in the form of lines that it is stored, not in the form of detailed photos. Recently, Moody's has said that in a hot and humid country like India, the biometric system is not going to be working in the near future because it may change over a period of time. And yes, it has happened. And there are, if not only India, there are many findings that have showed that biometric is not always reliable. Alright, this is the major problem. So first statement is definitely correct, that it is not stored in the form of any high resolution picture, and the concerns over Aadhaar's reliability are significant also, because in India it has been used as a primary document for providing direct benefit transfers and other welfare schemes. So supposedly if any poor labor who are the receivers and the only dependent upon government schemes, senior citizens, if their biometric over the year of time, over the number of years, if it doesn't match, what will happen? Welfare schemes, the purpose will be defeated. So this has been said, but the government says that the Moody's has not given any evidence, so we are not going to take it seriously. Although biometric has been criticized on many grounds. So first statement is correct and second is also correct. Because of this very thing, second statement becomes the explanation of it. First is correct and it correctly explains second. Because concerns are there over Aadhaar's reliability, because Aadhaar is dependent on biometric only. The issue is that. So first and second both are correct, and statement 1 is the correct explanation of statement 2. I have already told you this. Moody's has noted that Aadhaar enables access to public and private services, verification via fingerprint or scans, iris scans, etc. As of July 31st, 2023, 765.30 million Indians had linked their Aadhaar with ration cards so that they can get the direct benefit transfers and other sort of welfare schemes. The fingerprint might be unique in the world. Our fingerprints are unique. What is stored and subsequently measured is not. This is unique. My fingerprint will be very different from your fingerprint, and your fingerprint will be very different from others. But in the form they are being stored is not reliable. This is the point. This is the major point. Your fingerprint, iris, retina, face is not stored and measured as a highly detailed picture. What is stored and evaluated is a measurement of various defining characteristics, points of that biometric identity. With reference to the C295 aircraft, this is a repeat question. I have already asked this question. This is a revision question for you. Okay, if you have attended my classes sincerely, you can answer this question very well. Consider the following statements. It is a versatile tactical transport which can perform a variety of missions. The aircraft is not equipped for air-to-air refueling of fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters, and the aircraft is set to replace the Avro 748 fleet. So how many of the statements given above is or are not correct? We have to see not correct. Yes, C295 is a very versatile aircraft. As a transport aircraft, it can transport people, cargo, reconnaissance facility, and it also has air-to-air refueling system for fixed-wing airplanes, aircrafts and helicopters. So first is correct, second is not correct. Yes, not correct. The aircraft is set to replace Avro 748 fleet is also correct. So first is correct, third is correct, second is not correct. How many are not correct? One only will be the correct answer. The Indian Air Force formally has begun the phasing out of the legacy HS 748 Avro transport aircraft from the service. First C295MW transport aircraft was inducted into the service in a formal ceremony at the Hindon Air Force Station. The first aircraft was inducted into the number 11 squadron, the Rhinos, which is based in Vadodara. Also, it's a versatile tactical transport. It can perform many missions: airborne warning, surveillance, collection of intelligence, armed close air support, medical evacuation, and the rest. It can carry up to 9 tons of payload or up to 71 personnel. The maximum cruise speed is 260 kts. Equipped for air-to-air refueling of fixed-wing aircrafts and helicopters, powered by two Pratt and Whitney turboprop engines. So remember, engines can also be asked. The aircraft can cruise at an altitude up to 30,000 feet. I could have replaced up to with over. Up to is the maximum limit and over is more than this. So remember, UPSC can change the meaning through these very small changes. It can quickly also take off from and land at unpaved, soft and sandy grassy airstrips. That means it does not need only cemented areas. So this is also a very good statement to remember. With reference to the parliament, consider the following statements. The maximum number of days the Lok Sabha met in a year was 1956. The lower house has not crossed the 100-day annual threshold. Both the houses witnessed their lowest numbers of sittings in the year 2021. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? First statement, through and through, is correct. The maximum number of days the Lok Sabha met in a year was in the year 1956. Both the houses recorded their lowest sittings or lowest number of days in a session was in 2020. COVID-19, 2021 was still better. And the lower house has crossed the 100-day annual threshold. This is correct. Okay. So first is, incorrect. It is written not. So first is correct, second is not correct, and both the houses witnessed their lowest number in 2020, not 2021. Third is also not correct. Second and third are not correct. First only is correct. How many are correct? One only. The Lok Sabha has met for over 100 days, a year between 1952 and 1974. Since then, the lower house has not crossed the 100-day annual threshold, except in 1978, 81, 85, 87 and 88. The maximum number of days Lok Sabha met was in the year 1956. It was the time when it held 151 sittings. Lowest in the COVID year 2020, met for 33 days. For Rajya Sabha also 33 days. The highest were in 1956, 113 days for Rajya Sabha. Highest number of bills were cleared in 1976 during the time of emergency. 118 bills were passed. 2004, lowest number of bills were passed, 18, and the second lowest figure was in 2022. That was 25 bills, just this much. Alright, now I have a practice question for you. Which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution provides for the organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. You have to answer it. Let me take the names of those students who have answered the last question correctly, so that you can answer this one as well. D was the correct answer. Simran has answered it correctly. Riya, Vishwesh, Shubham. Riya has also answered the next question. Very good. Mano, then Dondiori, Barkha, Vaibhav, Kushal, Utkal has also answered the next question. My goodness, thank you so much. My goodness, your name is also, username is also that. Sanjay, Sivaram, then Om has answered it correctly. Good. Then Om, yes, you have to work with your resolution. It is workable till 1080p. You can work with your resolution, it's clear. Then we have Nikhil, really good, good job. Utkal, good. Manish, good. Gaurangi, good. Komal has answered it correctly. Priyadarshan has answered it correctly. Siddharth, Shubham, Shantanu, Preeti, Ritu, Sagar, Preeti again, Manoj, Mansi, Murshida, Pragati, Sanu Mohapatra, then my mobile phone, Shalvi. Thank you so much for answering the last question. Answer this question as well. Okay? Thank you so much.